All right, welcome back. House cleaning first. If you want to choose the bottle for my next review, you have a choice of a Glenfiddich 15, the Glenfarclas 15, and the Deanston Organic 15. Just put a comment in the section down there and I'll do the review for you. For this week, the bottle that was voted in was the Bunnahabhain 12. It's not a very expensive bottle. I think I paid like 35 bucks for this. This bottle goes a little bit under the radar. I don't know why. Maybe it's the color of the bottle. It's not like a classic bottle, whatever. And it looks heavy and peaty, and you know, it looks a little bit like heavier than other whiskeys. But trust me, it's quite a good whiskey. This bottle is at it's a sherry bourbon. I made some notes for you to make sure because there's a lot going on here. It's a sherry bourbon at 46.3% ABV. This is unchilled, filtered because of the high level of alcohol. You don't need to chill filter it to remove the little flakes in it or the shadows in it. It's an Isle of whiskey. Let's pour and see what's up. I kind of sell a lot of this in my restaurants because in my whiskey bar because it's quite nice and it's not very expensive to drink. It's very, very nice nose for a 12. Usually 12s are a little bit harsher than this. There's a little bit of smoke in there, but it's not overpowering like a Hartberg or a Lafroid. It's like wet wood. There's some peat in there, but it's not like a super heavy peat whiskey. Yeah, there's like sweetness in there, like dark fruits, or I would say like a rumish, like sultanas, or like fruits like this in it. It's very easy on the nose. It's not very powerful. It won't like destroy your nose here. Even with the alcohol content at 46.3, it's not overpowering your nose like a dry your nose like a dry, you know, like a bad whiskey or bad scotch. So let's try it and see what's up. This is a sherry cask and a bourbon cask, by the way. You can right away, you can taste the sherry and the bourbon. The bourbon's quite strong in there. It brings out like, yeah, you caramelize the sweet taste. A little bit after, you get some of the sherry. I like this. It's like a deep, like some like a chocolate note in there. Not like chocolate, like a bittersweet chocolate. There's a short burn, like we call it hotness, but it doesn't last for long. It just like cleans your palate at the same time as you're drinking. Dark fruits in there. By the way, the color, I don't know if you can see well here. It's a nice deep amber color. I like the color, and we can talk about the color because it's unchilled, so it's the original color. They didn't have to add the coloring in there, which is great. Yeah, dark fruits. On the finish, that's after the first taste, it's not very long, it's not aggressive, it's quite nice. Actually, I think this bottle makes me want to drink more whiskey. That's surprisingly complex for a young whiskey like this. I think the smokiness and the spiciness of it, the hotness of it, and the alcohol level, they mingle well. Could you put an ice cube in there? You could. I think it's perfect as it is. It's not too raw for a 12. It actually tastes a little bit older than what's stated on the bottle here. I have a lot of Bunnas, and we did a review of the 18 before, which was like super fantastic. I really enjoyed this bottle. This is high-class whiskey. If you got extra money to spend, go see the review and then just go buy it. Trust me, you don't need to see the review. Yeah, dark notes, dry fruits. There's like a deep velvet in it that you would expect in like a 16 or an 18. This company makes fantastic product. They have a line of NAS as well, which we will review at a certain point. You know me, I'm not the biggest fan of NAS. Some are done great, some are terrible. Like the Glenrothes Maker's Cut, terrible. If you smell it after, it still smells like, actually it smells better. It smells more like a velouté or, you know. You know, after lamb, well, even pork, that'd fit perfectly. The more I drink it, the more I want to drink it. Even though it's a sherry cask, it's not over sherried. And the aggressivity of the bourbon cask at the beginning on the first sip kind of disappeared now. Now it's more like a warm feeling inside of you. Breath-wise, I don't think you'd be killing your neighbor at the dining room table. I think it's, I would not categorize this as a beach whiskey. I think it'd be great in a wedding, you know, the boys at the table or something like that, you know. I think it's a whiskey. It's not a, it's not like a happy whiskey or let's go, you know, it's a whiskey to sit down, have a good chat. And I reckon with this bottle, the whiskey is not too peaty or smoky. So the conversation is actually going to be a nice, light conversation. It's not going to be like a hot bird conversation or the end of the world is coming soon. I think, yeah, in public is fine. I would like to see this maybe after a day of ski or snowboarding. Yeah, maybe like a day, like a rainy day, or you're gonna watch Lord of the Rings like for 5 hours. I would go with that. It's a great bottle. Hey, listen, I'm talking to you and I just want to finish it because it's really that good. And at that price for a 12, I reckon probably one of the better 12s out there. We reviewed some Balvenies and some stuff, and this bottle is really flying under the radar because they don't do big advertising. They don't spend a lot of money on the name recognition. But if you try it, you will know. And then after that, it's going to be easy for you to make a jump from the 12 to the 18 because, you know, you're going to go like, well, if the 12 is that good, then how good is the 18? And let me tell you, the 18 is fantastic. It's 46.3. You could add a bit of water in there. I don't think it needs to. I think the way to open this whiskey is not like sometimes people, what they do, they take a sip, then they add water, take another sip. I think for me is you just how to say, English, not first language here. You just drink it more, and then the alcohol level will dissipate, and you'll get all the flavor in your mouth. I would be very careful with this bottle because it's so good that you might just end up drinking it all and have a major headache the next day. I think it's an everyday drinker because price-wise it makes sense. I think it's an everyday drinker because I don't see a big headache coming out of this. And you won't smell like peat for a week after, you know. You finish drinking at 3 o'clock in the morning after a bottle of Lafroy, take a shower, you go to work, 6 hours later, you still smell like Lafroy. I think this is easy going. I think, by the way, the burn of the alcohol after is just fantastic. It's not like a let's rip your throat out. It's just a nice, warm, hey, winter day. There you go. Like I said, ski day or whatever. So like I said before, you can choose for the next review, Glenfiddich 15, Deanston 15 Organic, Glenfarclas 15. You let me know in the comment section what you want to do, and we'll try to do that as best as we can. So see you later. Take care.